What a wonderful evening. Welcome. Welcome, YouTube listeners. Let me come back and find my face. There's part of me right there. And I want to say welcome to all of our listeners out there. We have notifications going out. And we are going to fill up the chat room here. And today's topic is a great topic. When I say a great topic, oh man, it's pretty powerful. And it's going to be a little time to go through this. But we'll be talking about apple cider vinegar. This is something where I've gotten just numerous amount of emails coming my way over months, just saying, Doc, when are you going to put something together on apple cider vinegar? So this was not an easy thing to put together. Hello, Janine, James, and Peter from UK. Hello from Australia. James out there. Nice to have you here, but this could be a great program. I just want to gather our audience together. By the way, this will be recorded onto my channel. This program is pretty in-depth. This is something that I'm going to move through real quick, but there's a lot to talk about. Now, this is a great topic. This is so intense and so deep that it really boggled my mind to try to get all this information together for you guys. It's all about apple cider vinegar, and this is pretty powerful. So, hello guys in the chat room. We'll come back. We'll say hello to you a little later, but I really want to move on with this. It's a big topic. Everyone's heard of it, and they're really uncertain what it can do, what it can't do. What are some different remedies it can do for my health, my skin, my intestines, my stomach, my heart, my triglycerides. Wow, this is just intense stuff, and I'm really excited to go over this stuff because this is really going to be helpful for so many people out there. First of all, I want to just go ahead and state a little bit about apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is probably one of the most popular vinegars that we'll see today because it's so healthy. See, the vinegar is made up in a two-step process, and that's basically related to how alcohol is made. So the first step is to take these crushed apples and or this apple cider, and what we want to do is we want to expose these crushed apples to yeast, which ferments the sugar and turns them into alcohol. And the second step is taking the bacteria that's added to this alcohol solution, which further ferments this alcohol and turns it into acetic acid. So acetic acid is the main active compound in this apple cider vinegar. So we're talking about organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, like Bragg's is probably one of the best on the planet. It contains the mother strands of proteins, the enzymes, the friendly bacteria that gives the product this murky, cobweb-like appearance. So let me see if I can get a picture of that for you here. And that's kind of what it looks like. If you look at the inside of that apple cider vinegar, you'll see that mother. And that mother is the good fermentation, the good proteins and enzymes and bacteria. That's good for us. That's what really helps us. That's like the magic and earth of fermentation. So we never want to disrupt that natural fermentation. Now, we know it's high in acetic acid. It has potent, very potent biological effects. And we're going to go in some different things to tell you basically what it is, because really all we're doing is we're using Mother Nature. It's made by fermenting sugars from apples, turns them into acetic acid that gives that active ingredient of vinegar. So this leftover product that we have, this acetic acid, basically has been around 2,000 years. We go back to Hippocrates, the fathers of medicine, has been using this, and they've been using this for all kinds of problems, from cleaning wounds to bacteria to all funguses to preserving different foods to trying to help people who are dying back in those years because there was no antibiotics. So hi, Yvette from Fort Lauderdale. Nice to have you here. You're on my side of town. So we want you to know about this vinegar. It's been used as preservatives. Studies show that it inhibits bacteria like E. coli from growing in foods and spoiling. So it can kill fungus, it can kill bacteria, it can kill different pathogens, and it has amazing different healing abilities that it can do within our body. Now, we hear about people talking about, hey, this can go ahead and do this can do that, but I'm going to show you, and I'm going to kind of go through a lot of different things with you, and by the end of this program, it's probably going to take me a good 30 minutes, but I'm going to go through all of this with you and try to explain it to you the best I can so you understand, and you're going to say, wow, what can I do to help this problem naturally? I'm talking about like warts or eczema or psoriasis, lowering triglycerides, cholesterol, kidney stones. I mean, this is really exciting stuff. And I can tell you that there are not necessarily all medical studies, but you can go in chat rooms, you can read on the internet, you can read from people's experiences how they benefited from this. Okay? And so let's go into a few important things. Number one, people who are diabetic, let's go into this right here. Give me a second, guys. We look into, let's see, I got a lot of stuff to share with you. Let me see if I can find that. So we look at these kind of things. Wow. I'm looking for this guy and I can't find him right here. But anyways, let's talk a little bit about sugar levels. That basically what it does, what they found with this is that people who are type 2 diabetes, who become more insulin resistant, what this does is that this actually helps, it stabilizes the sugar. And by doing so, it actually works with enzymes that usually digest this, and it prevents these enzymes from working to its specific type of degree, so it doesn't give you that rise, that high glycemic index. So it keeps the sugar level at a more of a balance, which kind of prevents that spike. There's different studies that they've done on different things with this, but they say it improves the insulin sensitivity of high-carb meals by 19 to 34%, significantly lowers blood glucose and insulin response. It reduces blood sugar by 34% when eating 50 grams of white bread. And they have all different kinds of studies in here, which is kind of really amazing. Because diabetes is so common. So the first thing that I want to tell everyone out there, in order to help your sugar levels, you need to get away from those high types of sugary foods, those high index foods that are real sugary, like your sugars, your cookies, and you want a low index factor that's going to digest slowly. That glycemic index needs to be lower, so you need to start looking on the internet, looking on Google of low glycemic index, and low glycemic index is something that will help you on this, because I will tell you that this will, by taking one tablespoon and diluting it into 8 ounces or 10 ounces of water and drinking that 1 or 2 times a day, can do miraculous things. Now, what I'm telling you is that these things are going to do miraculous things for many things. So you're really kind of like killing not only 2 birds with 1 stone, but maybe 10 birds with 1 stone. So we're going to kind of go into this, and I want to go into some important things. We talk about antioxidant properties. It does help it because this actually has specific fermentations and enzymes in there that keeps antioxidant properties high, because we're always oxidizing. You take an apple and put it out in the air, that apple is going to turn brown. Well, that's what happens in the cells of our body. And they show that this has great antioxidant properties because this includes catechins, gallic acid, caffeic, and chlorogenic acids within this particular vinegar, which actually helps. Now, it actually improves the nutrient absorption because of the fact that the body's absorption of minerals and the foods we eat, and adding this vinegar to your salad, your dressing, helps absorb more nutrients, particularly from the foods that you're eating. That's a very important thing. Let me just go into and try to find you some very important facts here, because we're going to go over some really interesting things. Now, let's talk about people out there who are looking to lose weight. All right, how many people are looking to lose weight? Now, if you look at this weight loss, if you look at just taking 2 teaspoons, I always like to say a tablespoon is always good. So 1 tablespoon is better, guys, of apple cider vinegar before or with each meal will cause you to eat less, because of the fact this has certain types of fibers within this particular acid, within this vinegar that you're taking, that makes you feel fuller. So obviously, if you take this a couple of times a day, it's going to make you feel fuller, and actually you're going to get all the other good benefits from here. They've shown that people obviously has lost a tremendous amount of weight. They say that you can lose 200 to 275 fewer calories each day, and that calculates to obviously 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. So once you get to that 3,500 calorie mark, you are losing 1 pound of fat. So there are a lot of good studies in here, and you can actually read up on that. The next thing I want to mention to you guys, very, very, very important. I want to talk about something that is a big problem here in the Western society. Okay? And if I can find it, we're talking about cholesterol and triglycerides. We realize that that's a big thing with cardiologists, with your doctors, and obviously, and they want to put you on nice statins, and they want to go ahead and give you blood pressure meds because, you know, they're just alarmed. But there are so many studies out there that we look at cardiovascular disease and heart disease and stroke, which is the world's biggest cause of death. It's known that several measured biological factors are linked to either a decrease or a increased risk of cardiovascular disease. They have found, and they've done studies, not only in rats, but there are a lot of other people who can claim this, that apple cider vinegar will help lower cholesterol and triglyceride levels. There's a lot of different things you can look into. I'm not going to go ahead and put all this stuff up here. It's a lot of stuff to talk about, but I just want to bring this out to you that there are studies that shows that vinegar reduces blood pressure, particularly in rats. Those are the main studies. The problem with this kind of healthy food is that the FDA doesn't want to do the studies. They don't want to spend the money, and they don't want to go out and help a business who has a product to make more money. Okay, I hate to tell you this, but they'll spend money when it comes down to drugs and pharmaceutical drugs, and they'll spend millions and millions, but when it comes down to healthy things, the problem here is that we're in an environment we're not proactive. We're in an environment where it's all about drugs. I mean, you know, you think about cholesterol. Did you know that cholesterol used to be 300 and something? I don't remember the exact number, many years ago, and it was normal. And what happened is the pharmaceutical market got on it and said, hey, listen, we can't sell our drugs if the cholesterol is that high. So now what they're doing is they lowered it to 300, then to 280, then to 250, 225, and 200. They keep lowering it because if you're 225, then hey, you got high cholesterol, you got to go on medication. Well, these drugs are causing brain problems, are causing muscle problems, are causing all kinds of bad reactions. I can go into that. I'm sure many people can attest to that. So we need to be proactive, guys, because this is now there's a lot of Eastern countries out there in Asia and Africa and Europe right now. And you guys live a different life than we live here in the Western society, because it's unfortunate the pharmaceutical market brings a lot of ill health to us. There's a lot of people who are dying and sick because we make ourselves sick and we let the doctors do this to ourselves. So I wanted to bring that against you. Now, they even say about cancer that they're possibly how studies show that vinegar can kill cancer cells and shrink tumors. There are studies on here. I'm reading right here. They've tested this in rats. Again, they have not tested this in humans because of the fact of money. All right, but I want to share that with you. So I also want to state that when you take this apple cider vinegar, do not just shot it down. It can corrode your teeth. You want to dilute it. It's very healthy to dilute it because if you just kind of shot it, it's not a good thing to do. So I want to bring that out to all of our listeners out there. All right. So we'll continue on. If you just tuned in with us, I'm Dr. Mandell. We're talking about apple cider vinegar. And I got a lot of interesting things I want to share with you guys. They use these kind of things for odor neutralizers. They can use it for weed killers, but I'm not going to go into that. We're going to talk about, obviously, we talked about weight loss, lower cholesterol, detoxing. This helps promote circulation. It helps detoxify the liver. apple cider vinegar binds to these toxins, which assist in removing toxins from the body. Apple cider vinegar has potassium content. It actually helps break up mucus in the body, helps clear the lymph nodes. It also removes toxins, as we said, so you can actually look onto this. Now, the other thing I wanted to go into here that I think is kind of cool is about sinuses. There's a lot of people out there who have sinus problems. Not only sinus problems, but sore throat. Here's sore throat, okay? You can take apple cider vinegar, you can dilute it and gargle with it. Remember, it has antibacterial properties. It's very safe and it's very, very effective for you. When it comes to sinuses, taking apple cider vinegar, I can tell you that I do it for myself. I take it, daily. And for the sinuses, you'll notice that after you take it, particularly on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, you'll notice that your sinuses start to squeeze. They really do. They really start to squeeze. I want you guys to try it. This is real stuff. They'll start to squeeze. You can just feel them contract. It detoxifies. There's a lot of great byproducts in that because, you're dealing with fermentation. You're dealing with natural, and people are saying, this is acidic. You don't supposed to put acidity in here. Isn't the acidity going to make the problem worse? No. It's acidic in the bottle, on the shelf. When it gets in your body, it's very alkaline, extremely alkaline. That's why it heals. We look at viruses, pathogens. We look at bacteria. We look at cancer. All that grows in acidic environment. When you have alkalinity inside your body, those pathogens cannot grow. This is how we fight it. This is how the body cures it. This detoxifies. So those things cannot grow in an acidic environment. All right, let's go to, I'm trying to move forward here because I want to move. I got a lot of good stuff. What about this, guys? What about bad breath? Same thing, it's bacteria, right? Every morning we get up, we hear about, people that this is a joke that my stepfather told me, that a guy gets on the bus and he walks up on the bus and he says, "How much is it?" The bus driver says, "No, just go straight ahead. It's free." True story. So we wake up in the morning, instead of using mouthwash, Listerine, okay, this particular antibacterial natural thing can actually fight bad breath. Not only bad breath, when we're on the bad part, okay, what about well, if I can find the other one, I'm talking about something that you guys, well, I won't mention who, but what about this one? Smelly feet. Very common. Some people can't get rid of that smell. All right? And I have someone real close in my family that has that problem all the time. Okay? He's a little younger than me. But anyways, you put this type of vinegar, as we're talking about, on your feet, just rub it directly. It will kill those bacteria. It will kill the germs. Really interesting stuff. Someone's mentioned, tonsils. Now, even people who have, since we're on this, and I'm kind of skipping around now, psoriasis and eczema. Now, if you notice the two different things, they're all, one's autoimmune, one can be environmental factored, but obviously scaly skin, red inflamed skin. Now, you never want to do anything with this, okay? By the way, before you do anything of any disease, always speak to your doctor. Get that cleared. But if it's not a serious problem, you can put apple cider vinegar on this eczema and it goes away. And better yet, which is kind of exciting, now I'm getting a little excited here. If you look at, I'm kind of jumping around. I just have to find it. If you look at this, warts, this is like a miracle thing. You can take apple cider vinegar, put it on a cotton ball, put the cotton that's wet, put it on top of the wart, put a Band-Aid on it, leave that Band-Aid on overnight, and you'll see it start to change color. Believe it or not. Now, people are actually doing that with keratoses. The keratoses, that the little moles that come off the skin, they're using apple cider vinegar and the keratoses are going away. Now, I'm not telling you what you should and should not do, but I'm sharing things that are going on out there through this apple cider vinegar, but it definitely helps warts. It's amazing. You just do that every night, and before you know it, your wart comes off. Amazing, huh? Pretty cool. Let's go into something that no one likes to talk about. It's herpes. The cold sore. The cold sore. Well, apple cider vinegar will destroy a lot of that cold sore. Yes, that's correct. Roshan, skin tags too. Yes, thank you. It will help skin tags. That's correct. Thank you, Roshan. Herpes. Herpes simplex 1 around the mouth. Herpes simplex 2 down in the genitals. But again, when it comes to simplex 1, it is a herpes virus. This herpes virus, by the way, guys, let's see if I can find it. This herpes virus stays in the dorsal root ganglion. Into that dorsal root ganglion. It stays right in that part of the spine, and when it becomes active from a stress, obviously it's very reactive towards arginine, L-arginine, which, it doesn't like L-arginine. And by the way, if anyone out there has shingles, herpes 1, herpes 2, L-lysine, L-lysine. You heard me say it, L-lysine. That will knock it out. Great stuff. Knocks out the herpes virus. Shingles, very painful. Okay, because when that herpes virus becomes active, it causes an outbreak. All right, so I wanted to share that with you. All right, guys. What about bruises? Maybe you were massaged too hard. Maybe you had an accident or an injury. By just taking that apple cider vinegar and putting it on top of it, and maybe leaving it on there, maybe putting something over it and leaving it wet over there, it helps heal bruises. It's just amazing. This is really true stuff. This is all proven stuff, all taken off the internet. This is not my type of stuff. Diane, you mentioned about toenail funguses. Yeah, it can help funguses. Absolutely. In certain funguses, it can help because I've seen it. Okay? Pretty cool stuff. All right? Now, indigestion, a very big one. But I can tell you that a lot of the people out there, let me just try to get to, what about deodorants? Another one, facial toner. I just want to throw a few things out at you. Whitening teeth. Some people go ahead and they actually dilute it and actually use it for their teeth. The bad breath, smelly feet, as we talked about. Those are some really important things. So, by adding this in your particular diet on a regular basis, this is only helping you. I want to talk about indigestion. Indigestion, basically what happens is most of us, as we get older, we don't have enough acid. So we start to burn in here and we think it's heartburn because we have too much acid. And basically what this apple cider vinegar does, it neutralizes. It helps the body neutralize. So we don't want to start taking all those calcium carbonates, all those Tums, because we're making it worse. All right. But by taking this acetic acid, which is this apple cider vinegar, diluting it first thing in the morning. And by the way, guys, you can put a little lemon there if you want. Lemon makes it alkaline. I love lemon and water first thing in the morning. Excellent. Good stuff. Okay. But that will help your heartburn. That will help that GERD. I mean, how many Prevacid, on all these different Nexium and all these proton pump inhibitors, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Proton pump inhibitors, that's paralyzing your system. That's shutting off the acid. And the problem is we've had so many programs recently about calcium absorption, osteoporosis, vitamin D, vitamin K2, magnesium. But guess what? Those protein pump inhibitors, because you're feeling acid, what it's doing is it's not leaving the acidity. Your acidity should be 1. pH, 1 point something, and now it's bringing it up to 3 or 4 your pH, which is acidic, but not near as acidic to help digest proteins. You're not digesting proteins. So people who are on these acid blockers, you're walking around having gas all day long. You're just having gas because you're not digesting properly. And it's very important that you start digesting. Otherwise, you're not going to get the right assimilation of nutrients into the cells and into your bone. So those medications have side effects. Hello, John from Australia. Okay, so it's kind of exciting. You're hearing this from me, but I'm trying to condense all this and trying to put all this together about apple cider vinegar. It's really, really powerful stuff. It's exciting. For people just tuned in, we talked about weight loss. It does help with weight loss. All right. So all these types of benefits are so important. Let me just see if I missed anything here, guys. Just give me 1 second because I do have a few things. We talked about reducing cholesterol, helping digestion, clearing. What about this one? What about clearing a stuffy nose? Now, it will help clear that stuffy nose. It opens it up. Try it. It's amazing. You know, I have a lot of good videos on natural self-help things. You can look on my channel. I got lots of self-help, hundreds. But it does help clear a stuffy nose. And I can't even find out where my little picture is here. Okay? Let's see here. I want to talk about another thing. Apple cider vinegar bath. You know, people, look at this. It helps reduce symptoms of pain, arthritis, tendonitis, gout by putting apple cider, just, 1 to 2 cups of apple cider vinegar in a warm or hot bath, soaking in 30 minutes helps absorb. You've got the mother, you got the real true stuff working in there, and you've got absorbing into the cells of your skin, helping many of these problems. It's really powerful. I'm going to show you something really amazing. What about people with kidney stones? Wow. Well, I can tell you, and I can prove it to you. I'd like you guys right now, when you're done with me, go to Google, type in apple cider vinegar and kidney stones, and watch all this stuff come up. These are true cases of people who have kidney stones that have taken apple cider vinegar, lemon, and olive oil, and mixed the three together. That's magic formula I'm giving you guys. And they pass their kidney stones, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. This is magical. So here's my question for you, okay? If this apple cider vinegar can help diminish and absorb specific hard minerals in a kidney stone, then you bet that you can take something like a heel spur, and apple cider vinegar will help you as well. That's right. It will help kidney stones. And it gets into the system, finds these particular hard minerals, and helps this acetic acid, this miracle acetic acid, just gets in there and starts breaking things down. Just breaks things down. All right? Go on the internet and look. All right? I want you guys to get excited because I want you to start changing your lifestyle and do things natural. Let your body do what it needs to do. Melanie, for swollen tonsils, yes, it can if it's bacterial involved, because there are some studies that I've seen where apple cider vinegar has taken care of strep throat. But I'm not going to put that on here because if someone really has strep throat and it gets out of hand, then obviously it can cause potential problems. But yes, it can. Acid reflux. Here is a particular formula that in their formula, they use apple cider vinegar as their main formula. And they use what they call pectin, because pectin, which is the roughage within that, the fiber within that particular apple cider vinegar, that fiber has an effect of doing many positive things for your gastrointestinal system. So there are formulas that are taking this apple cider vinegar and they're putting it into their own formulas and they're selling millions of them because it's helping people. Maybe, guys out there, you have someone out there that wants to maybe get together with me and put a formula together with this apple cider vinegar. We can do well, trust me, because the research is out there. But you see, who's making the research, guys, ladies and gentlemen, is not the FDA, is not the government, it's not the drug industry. They're not doing it because they don't want to keep people well. They would rather make you spend money buying drugs. The pharmaceutical market, which is controlling the American Medical Association here in the United States of America, and it's controlling it because it's about money, not about health. All right? When I go to Europe and I go out and help the children and I do stuff out there, it's a different life out there. They're more proactive in health. I mean, India, China, Japan, they're healthy people. They want to stay healthy, but guess what? So do we. That's why we're here together, and I appreciate you guys being here with me. So let's just finish up a few things, as I just wanted to make sure I covered everything as we look at this apple cider vinegar. Okay, good stuff, guys. And we looked at the mother. The mother inside there that we talked about is made up of these proteins, these probiotics, this bacteria, the good stuff that we want to put into our body, which is like the magic. That's like the magic inside our system. Okay, that is something that we definitely 100%, 100% need to put this in our system, and you'll see lots of amazing results. So let's just summarize here. We look at inflammation, that everything in the world today, guys, everything in the world, from every disease, every condition known to man, known to women, from cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, pulmonary arthritis, and every autoimmune disease has one thing in common, and that's called inflammation. If we can take care of inflammation, we will take care of many of these diseases from attacking ourselves. Very, very, very important, because eczema, as we talked about here, is all about inflammation. It's inflammation on the body where the body's being attacked, and it's actually reacting to this particular disease, which we call eczema. That's all it is. Sinuses, we talked about how it affects the sinuses. Psoriasis, as we talked about. We mentioned about the triglycerides. Now, people, you must lose weight. You must exercise. If you're smoking, you must quit. And if you're drinking, you need to stop. You need to get away from all those saturated fats, those trans fats, those foods that are high in cholesterol. You can eat eggs, no problem. 6, 7, 8 eggs a week. Eat it whole, organic. The simple carbohydrates, the sugary foods, the ones that are actually building up in our system are turning into triglycerides, and high triglycerides will clog arteries and cause problems. So please, this is important, but apple cider vinegar is a start for you because it will help you start feeling full. It will start cleansing your system, will start detoxifying you, it will start doing miracles for you. It will start making your mind feel as if you can think clear again, because when you don't feel well, it's hard to think clearly. I understand that, guys. You need to really step back, look at your life, and preserve it and take care of it, because you're the only one that's going to take care of it. So we talked about indigestion. We talked about bruises and herpes simplex virus, or actually complex. All right. We look at weight loss, how it can help, how the importance of apple cider vinegar not only helps that, guys, blood pressure, cholesterol, inflammation. It helps the hair, helps the nail, helps funguses, as the other young person was talking about, bug bites, warts. It helps prevent acne. It helps in migraines. It helps balance out glucose. It helps relieve gout and allergies and asthma and chronic reflux. Okay? It helps nausea. It helps balance out the pH, because we are acidic. We don't eat correctly. The more alkaline our body stays, the more healthier we stay. Cancer, bacteria, pathogens, fungus, viruses cannot live in an acidic environment. So the more greens we take in, like the spirulinas, the wheatgrasses, all those good natural things, fruits and vegetables, carrots, that is so good for you. And yes, as Paquiza said, lots of water. We need water because, and that takes me to something else, okay? We talked about acid reflux. We mentioned that. Leg cramps. What about this, guys? Oh, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. We've all had this problem, and you can see that little girl is crying. Yes, she is straining because she is constipated. Well, guess what, guys? We need to make sure that we're increasing our fluid intake. Even if you don't feel thirsty, it doesn't mean that your body does not need more water. Remember, by sleeping, by working, even though we're not sweating, we're still dehydrating. And it's very important that we take in at least 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 glasses of water every single day. That, along with this particular vinegar that we're talking about, okay, is going to make a big, big change with you, because this will help constipation as well. So remember, we look at the cholesterol, we look at our weight loss, and we talk about, adding this to our body does make a tremendous change. And we look at GERD and reflex. When you feel like you're getting that pressure coming up and that GERD, it's because that you have not enough acid. Believe it or not, as we get older, we don't secrete enough acid. But This apple cider vinegar helps a lot of these conditions. Try it. It's safe. It's effective. And I think it will really, really help you. Bad digestion, I don't want that on my worst enemy. And last but not least, I want to leave one thing with you guys. It's a detox drink. And I think it's one of the finest things you can do. There's a lot of health food places that do this around here. And basically, it's just taking a glass of water with you could actually use 1 tablespoon if you don't want to use 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Squeeze some lemon in there, a little cinnamon, a little raw honey. And I want to add one more thing to it, guys. Some cayenne pepper. It's not on here. A little cayenne pepper helps thin the blood, opens you up, opens your sinuses up. Very healthy for your immune system. Very, very good stuff. So anyways, it's been a pleasure, guys. 35 minutes, and I really appreciate all of you being here. I ask you to share this video, subscribe if you haven't, and I ask you to go to all my videos out there. If you haven't seen them, go through them one day. Lots of great stuff on forward head posture, neck problems, herniated disc, lower back, all kinds of exercises. Probably the most comprehensive when it comes to the neck. YouTube, if you go ahead and just type in neck pain, YouTube is putting all my videos up on top on the first page. So obviously, again, I have to thank YouTube every time I come up here, because obviously we're doing something right. We're helping not only adults like you, but we're helping children. There's a lot of children out there that are being helped because guess what? They're taking this old phone like this and they're doing this all day long. Well, guess what? You are guilty too. You're doing that as well. So get back to basics, guys. Make sure that, your ears are over your shoulder. You're jutting the chin down. Get out of the habit. Look at good ergonomics. Look at my channel on there. I think will really, really help you guys. I love every one of you. You guys are super. I got a lot of my followers out there that you seem to make it to almost every live broadcast I'm doing now. And I've been on almost daily right now trying to really hammer it to try to give you a lot of love and a lot of good information, because what this does, it helps save lives. And let's just share it, and hopefully we'll all be well together. Okay, guys, so anyways, thank you so much, and I really appreciate it. This was a really good program. It came out actually better than I expected because there was so much to put together, and I tried to do it in the last couple hours, and I finished. I pretty much got what I needed to get out. But, do research on apple cider vinegar. Type it in. I just wanted to open up a door. There's a lot of people who are just, who are, and one last thing, guys, who have inflammation. Inflammation is a big one. And you know what? I wanted to, before I make way with you guys, I don't have it here, but this apple cider vinegar reduces inflammation. It becomes more alkaline. It makes your system more alkaline. Inflammation usually occurs in an acidic environment. And I didn't go into the pH scale, but obviously 0 is the most acidic, 14 is the most alkaline. And obviously this apple cider vinegar makes it more alkaline in your system, which actually helps directly and indirectly helps inflammation. So for people who have pain, this is something that you may want to try because it's safe, it's effective. And as I said, not only killing 2 birds with 1 stone or helping 2 birds with 1 stone, you may help 10 birds with 1 stone, which may be helping a lot of your problems. Okay, guys, just want to let you know another thing. On my Facebook, Motivational Doc is my Facebook. Best way to get a hold of me there. I get about 300 to 500 emails a day. I don't go through all my emails. There's so many. But through my Facebook, you guys are priority because I do check that often and they're easier to respond. I have a lot of fun things and great things in the future with you guys. This will be on my channel probably right away, but I will go ahead and edit just a couple pieces at the beginning so everything is kind of together. But that's about it. So I just want to thank you again. If you just tuned in, thank you, and thank everyone. God bless you. And again, happy holidays to those. I know the holiday is gone right now. It's pretty much we're after about 12:30 here Eastern time. But again, have a great morning for those who are in Asia. Have a great evening for those here in the United States. And we'll catch up with you real soon. Bye-bye now.